Still known to many as Fretlin, the armed wing of the independence movement now refers to itself as Falentil. There's probably only 500 guerrillas in the forests and mountains of East Timor, but their support network is enormous. They have thousands of people in reserve, and tens of thousands of villagers support them with food and finances. The Indonesian military are camped just a few kilometres away on the next mountain peak. The nearest militia group would be less than 2 days' walk from here. But the commander of this unit, Falo Rate-like, is under orders to do nothing but watch and wait.
Comandante-in-chefe Xanana fona a partir da ala sene ba dia apela ba husu ba ami forense ba ami dia kata kami para ho atividades militares, atividades de demonstrações de manifestação juventude ninia aruka para hutu cancela hutu a partir de mama ka onda ami. Okay. Kairala Xanana Guzmão.
Falo has been a guerrilla for 20 years. 20 years of being hunted. 20 years of struggling to attract new fighters to his unit. All he could offer was near certain death for an unlikely victory. The flux of new recruits. In the villages, people began to talk openly about independence, and the reprisals against the most outspoken of them began in July. As the militias and soldiers began their crackdown, dozens of young people began joining Falentil in the jungle. The new recruits didn't just bring civilian habits with them. They brought eyewitness accounts of brutalities by ABRI and the pro-integration militias in the surrounding areas. In late October, Falo struck.
O engenheiro ainda não se envolvido hotu, nem engenheiro, mas bem envolvido hotu ia be operação né também Intel, cartão makanya identifica, kata sirene cartão Intel, e sirene criminoso, idane né Abdul Latif, Furiel lida, né Furiel né, ni ane makanya sampai tortura ema, sumu ema, ema, cara jovem sira né conhece, ni ane ba ia baucau, ia uma mera, Casa Vermelha ne bem alu ema barak. Halo ema barak mate kuah sirne makan ba mahne ba baku tuar be no estatua Nossa Senhora de Fátima maksirane sirne mak mate uto ne ba bahira kair muris sira sirne mak sir merece duni mata me sira.
A few days later, Falo struck again. This film was shot by one of Falo's soldiers as they moved out of the jungle and gathered near the town of Alas. The ABRI soldiers stationed in Alas had begun searching for and arresting villagers who they suspected of supporting Falentil. As the guerrillas marched towards the village, some of the young people of Alas saw them coming. But each of them had their reasons not to alert the Indonesians.
Sira halo biola ba an feto tuncha ne la dia halo ba ina nama sirmos la dia Falentil la ho mas la contente halo fu aset baku mata mi irmão ida narada kayen depois a minha mão da farinha naran joking depois naran Leopoldino França ne sira baku to.
There were 14 Indonesian soldiers in and around the Alas base. 3 Indonesians were killed in the battle, and as the Falentil guerrillas began to pin down the other 11, many of the young people of Alas, after years of pent-up fury, began to join in the attack. Falentil prevented a massacre. The 11 soldiers were captured and later released. But if there was one event last year which galvanised Arbery's relationship with the militia groups, it was this attack. Civilians were now clearly a threat. Infuriated by the loss of an arsenal of weapons and the deaths of their soldiers, Arbery's retaliation was swift. 8 civilians are known to have been killed by Arbery and Alas, and dozens of others are still missing. But Arbery's actions didn't go unnoticed. They were loudly condemned around the world. And it was from this point that the proxy war began, and the militias became Arbery's weapon.